Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Be Determined. Today we are going to be going over the brand new SkyBlock guide system, which is basically what the admins had for chapters that they've been showing on Twitter and on the alpha. So we are going to be going over that today because it's finally come out. The name has changed, but it's pretty much the same system. So we'll talk about it today. Let's jump into it. Alright, so to start with, we have to notice that the SkyBlock menu has completely been revamped, and some people, myself included, aren't exactly the biggest fans of this. Your sack of sacks is now inside this bag section. Granted, this whole menu does look a lot cleaner, but you are going to have to click a lot more and in different ways, and it's completely ruined my muscle memory, I'm not going to lie. But basically, if you want to sell something to NPC now, the fastest way is to click Booster Cookie, and then you can sell your items right there. Instead of going to your trade menu, which was right here, your trade menu is now in your recipe book. So if you want to do it that way, recipe book, and then click trades, and then click the item that you want to sell. But really the best way to do it is to just click Booster Cookie and then click sell. The bag section is up here. It's got your fishing bag, potion bag, quiver, accessory bag, and your sack of sacks. So you have to click twice now to get to your sack of sacks, which is a little annoying, I'm not gonna lie, but we'll get used to it. Anyways, if we go to SkyBlock leveling, they have not really added any new ways to get XP. Hopefully Garden Update comes out soon and we get that, but there was a bug at the start of when this update came out where it cleared out all of your event XP that you had gotten, and it also cleared out all of your crystal nucleus runs. But as you can see, that has been fixed. Thank God I don't have to do 50 more nucleus runs. Can I get an amen? But there is another bug that is going on, because I was just doing some dungeons today and we completed our master mode floor 1 for the first time, and it did not count the completion. We've done 2 MM1 on this account now, and it has not given me the XP for it. So that's a little unfortunate, but hopefully they get that patch soon. But now to the main thing that we're going to be talking about today, the SkyBlock guide, which is down here at the bottom left, and of course there's a server reboot. Basically, it's kind of a way to tell you what stage of the game you're at, but it also gives you the option to suck on some copium if that's your type of thing. But basically you click on SkyBlock guides and you can see there's different levels of the game that you can go through. There's starter, aka new player, amateur, aka very early game, intermediate or early game, skilled or mid game, expert or late game, professional or very late game, and master or end game. So you can see what you've done on each section. There is progress that you get for completing each section, but you don't really get a prize for completing it. It's just like, yay, good job, you're through the very early game, congratulations. But this doesn't really tell you where you're at as much as it tells you what stage of the game the items that you're getting is. Because if you go to very early game, you can see I've done 145 out of 147 of the quests. So we've gotten the rock pet, done the community shop upgrades, harp songs. It's got all these different levels of things that we've done, which is not like the complete end of these sections, right? Because if we go to our regular SkyBlock levels, defeating Revenant Horror tier 2 is not the maximum level of Revenant Horror that you can get XP from, but to get through the very early game, you have to have done this. But you can see there are a couple things that I haven't done. I don't have a tiger or elephant pet. Now this is because I'm saving up for a legendary on both of those, but because I don't have even a common of either of these, it is counting me as not through the very early game. Now if I were to just real quickly buy a tiger pet or an elephant pet, then that would theoretically complete it. So we can go ahead and check it real quick. Buy a elephant pet, equip it, go to our levels, and you can see that now that I've done an elephant pet, even though it's just common, that is completing the task. So if I want to be considered past the very early game, completely past it, I'll have to buy a common tiger pet, but I'm gonna wait till I get a legendary. Anyways, you get the gist. You need level 13 of all skills to get past the very early game, and then I don't even want to know what's at the master end of this game. It's probably got like complete T5 Kudras, get T5 Kudra boss collection completed, like F7's done, crazy late game things like that, Reaper Peppers, all that jazz, probably at the end of the game. But there's also some things I have done that are through the early game, and I'm missing 14 tasks here. So if we go and check the tasks, you can see there's a lot of different things that I'm missing. I've done all of these down here, and there are 2 pages, but I'm missing the Season of Joy for Ice Essence Shop, extra farming drops. I'm missing one collection thing, which is actually maxing out seeds collection, which is cap, because that's actually not out yet. That is a little bit of a leak that they've done for Skyblock levels. There is going to be a tier 7 seeds collection when Garden Update comes out. Right now it's not here, but everybody is not able to complete that, so technically everyone in the game is in the early game right now, at least a little bit. You can also see I need to get a monkey pet. I'm missing 2 accessories, which is the vaccine artifact and the lucky hoof. Then museum donations. I have done way more than 63 museum donations, but it's just these specific 4 items that I'm missing that is telling me I'm not through the early game yet. Then there's skills. You have to be level 23 in all the skills to be through the intermediate early game section. Then you can see it starts getting a little bit more difficult. We're missing 76% of the mid game section, and the late game section I'm only 46% of the way through. But basically this is going to tell you what you've done that you kind of jumped the gun on in the expert section, and if you've actually done everything along through the game that you were actually supposed to, as intended by the ad. So you can see I'm basically through the intermediate section. Granted, my skills are garbage because I have chosen to ignore them. They have been neglected on purpose. So this is not like the most efficient way to do a lot of these things, right? Because realistically, you're not going to want to get every single skill to 23 and then start grinding to get every single skill to 35. A lot of times you're going to get 1 to 50 and then get another 1 to 50 and then another one, especially with enchanting, right? Because like enchanting is so fast to level up, but there's no way you're going to level up fishing half as fast as you're leveling up enchanting or foraging or alchemy. It's just not realistic. But it does tell you the things that you've done that are late game or very late game or end game. Basically, my mining, enchanting, and taming skills are late game, but my farming, foraging, fishing, and alchemy skills are so bad that they're only very early game level. So this kind of helps you gauge which parts of the game you're really good at and which parts of the game you're kind of okay at. So you can kind of judge on what part of the game you're really in. Personally, I'd say if you've not done 90% of a section, you're probably not in the next section yet. So I've done 94% of intermediate, so I'm definitely through the early game, but I'm only 76.2% through skilled, which is the mid game. So I'm gonna need some more museum donations, right? Like I don't have Nutcracker armor yet. I haven't got the Florid zombie sword. We're missing out on Bonzo's mask, Flower of Truth, Voodoo doll. Like we're missing a lot of things in museum. Our skills have a long way to go. I'm missing a couple of accessories of this section. I haven't done that well on my dungeon boss collections. I've got a lot of minions to craft. Like you can see kind of where I've been slacking off basically, and where I have gone above and beyond to get things done. So I'm already at deluxe bank account. We've defeated hot and basic Kudra and done the dojo. We have actually maxed out Peak of the Mountain, but here the max option is 3. We've done all our commission milestones, Heart of the Mountain. Basically, my mining is pretty darn good. My catacombs is also pretty decent. My bestiary is doing good, but my essence shops are suffering. My trophy fishing, my slayers, my accessory bags, my minions, my skills are definitely nowhere near the late game level. Heck, I'm not even done with all the very early game items at this point. But anyways, you get the gist. There's a lot of things to do in this game, and to completely finish the Skyblock guide is going to take a ridiculous amount of time. But this is kind of nice as a QOL thing to kind of tell where you're at compared to your friends or your enemies, and just kind of give you a gauge on what you should be working on next. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, remember again to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what stage of the game you think you're at and what stage of the game the guide system thinks you're at. I will see you guys in the next one. I appreciate you. God bless.